The room was quite warm and scented faintly with sandalwood. His son, Jungkook, walked beside the wheelchair without saying a word, one hand on the handle, the other wrapped gently around yours, as if letting go meant you would break into pieces. You hated that feeling. You hated needing help. Your eyes stayed low, avoiding his, while he pushed you to the bed like you were made of glass. The leather of his gloves whispered against the armset as he slowly lifted you, one arm beneath your knees, the leg that no longer moved, and no one behind your back. His grip was strong, too careful, painfully careful, as if you'd shatter. You looked away. Jungkook, I can do it myself, you whispered, knowing well you couldn't. He paused, his breath held. You could feel his jaw clenched beside your cheek. Then gently, without answering your stubborn lie, he placed you on the bed. His eyes finally met yours. They were not the ruthless ones the whole world feared, not the Mafia King, just a man terrified of losing you. You don't have to do it yourself, he said finally, voice low, almost breaking. I'm here. You tried to smile, but it came out small, brittle. His hand moved to adjust your posture, fixing your pillow, shaking the blanket, tucking it under your legs like one wrong move might hurt you. The care burned more than comfort. Stop treating me like I'm broken, you murmured, voice thin with embarrassment. Jungkook froze for a moment. That monster in him, the one the world feared, seemed to disappear completely. His shoulders loosened, eyes softening as he sat beside you. You are not broken, he whispered, as though it hurt him to hear you say it. You're breathing, you are here, that's enough for me. Your throat tightened, but the bitter feeling wouldn't leave. Enough, is that what people said about burdens? You didn't respond. You just turned your face to the pillow, hiding the tears you refused to let him see. Junko started guilt filling his chest like smoke, choking him from inside. He reached out but stopped halfway, afraid that even his touch might make you feel worse. Instead, he said quietly, was trembling in fear he'd never admit to. Just let me take care of you, even if you hate me for it. The room stayed silent, except for the sound of your soft, shaky breathing and the way Jungkook's heart seemed to break every time you tried to hide your pain. 5 months ago, life wasn't quite heavy or filled with hospital air. It was loud with laughter, your laughter, and Jungkook's teasing smirk that seemed to chase it every time you were newlyweds, just 2 weeks into marriage, still learning each other's habits. Jungkook, the man the world feared, the Mafia King, whose name made grown men tremble, had become a completely different person at home. Behind locked doors, he wasn't untouchable. He wasn't gold. He was yours. He would steal while you cooked, pull you onto his just to fluster you, get jealous at the air touching you more than him. You would scold him for following you around like a shadow, and he'd reply, I don't follow you. You're just my favorite view. Your days were playful battles, and your nights were slow wars of love and whispers. You teased him, he pouted, and every night ended with a that lasted too long to be innocent. Love was easy, love was safe, or so you thought. It was late, too late for you to be waiting outside in the cold rain. Jungkook had left for a sudden mafia meeting, promising he'd return soon. You hated not knowing where he went, what danger he faced, so you called him 7 times. No reply. Your heart wasn't made for mafia life. You were afraid, worried, and desperate to see him, even if it meant stepping out of into the storm. You grabbed your keys, ignoring the thunder, convinced he might need you. You didn't know someone else was watching. Jungkook wasn't the only one with eyes everywhere. His enemies had found what they could never destroy in him. You. The car engine started, the windshield whisper struggled against the rain, and you drove out to search for him. Maybe to scold him, maybe to hug him, maybe just to see his face again. You didn't notice the black van trailing behind. It came fast, too fast, a flash of headlights, a crash, glass screams, darkness, your world spun, metal twisted, and cold rain seeped into your skin. Pain shot down your spine like lightning. You couldn't move your legs. You reached your hand out, trembling, whispering only his name, Jungkook. The last thing you heard before everything faded was another voice. dark and satisfied. Let's see how fearless the king is without his queen. If there was one thing the accident changed, it wasn't Jungkook's love, it was yours, for yourself. After the flash of metal and darkness, after the doctor's cold words, after the silent ride home, wheelchair bound, your life didn't stop, but you feel like you had stopped. You couldn't run to the door when Jungkook came, you couldn't stand on your toes to him, you couldn't dance with him in the kitchen. You couldn't even pick up a glass without help, and yet he never treated you differently. If anything, he loved you harder. He still your forehead every morning, still carried you to bed every night, still held your hand like the world would steal you if he loosened his grip. At meals, he fed you sometimes not because you couldn't eat on your own, but because he wanted to do something for you when you struggled to move your legs. He massaged them quietly, whispering, "Don't rush, I've got time. We are not in a race." When you woke up in the middle of the night in pain, he didn't sleep again. He sat beside you, letting you hold his hand until you calmed down. He was gentle, too gentle, so gentle it hurt. Because you didn't feel love, you felt pitied. Every careful touch became a reminder of what you lost. Every felt like a goodbye to the woman you used to be. Every "it's okay" made you feel weaker. His kindness began to feel like chains, and every time he carried you, supported you, covered your legs with a blanket, you thought, why couldn't I do it myself? Why am I still here? Why am I becoming his burden? Jungkook didn't know these thoughts, but he wasn't blind to the way your smile faded, how your eyes never looked straight at him anymore, how you held yourself like you were apologizing for existing. So one evening when he tucked your leg carefully into bed, you flinched, not from pain, but from shame. Your voice cracked. "Can you please stop being so careful?" Jungkook froze. His hand halfway over your blanket trembled. You didn't look at him. You whispered brokenly, "It feels like I'm made of nothing now." Silence burned the air. Then Jungkook lifted your chin with his gloved hand, forcing your eyes to meet his. His voice wasn't soft this time. It was fierce, raw, and shaky with anger, not at you but at fate itself. "Don't ever insult my wife again." You startled, and he leaned closer, jaw tight, eyes wet with the pain he would never admit. "You think you are weak, you survive what they plan to you with. You think you are a burden, you are the only reason I came home alive." His hand cupped your face like it was sacred. "You are not helpless, you are healing, and until you do, I'll be your strength. Let me." Your lips parted, breath trembling, words stuck behind your tears. For the first time in months, you didn't feel broken, you just felt held.